Always feels like a big result, doesn't it, when Real Madrid lose at home, particularly in the Champions League. 2 wins now in the last 8 games for Real Madrid. It's been kind of a downward spiral in general for Real Madrid in recent weeks. This is a result that doesn't seem to do anything to curb that, Thierry.
No, not at all. And people might mention obviously that Mbappe didn't come on and whatnot, but they obviously didn't win games. Also, we've been playing at times, and the question will be now, a lot of questions will be raised. On the coach Xabi Alonso. What interested me in this game is that the two teams were way too open for me. In terms of in midfield, they were open. Both teams couldn't stop a counter. But at the end of the very day, you have to give also Man City a lot of credit. We were trying to see if they could go there and win. That's what they've been doing. They look a tiny bit better also. So, you have to give them a lot of credit. But yes, it doesn't look good at the minute for Real Madrid.
What did you think of the Real Madrid performance?
I thought they played well. I thought that at half-time as well. I think they were unfortunate to be 2-1 down. I mean, listen, Rudiger just does what he does every sort of few weeks and does something stupid. I don't watch Real Madrid every week and every game that they play. Obviously, the results have been poor of late, but on that performance, they are playing one of the other top teams in the Champions League, if you like, Manchester City, and I think they should have got something out of it. So I thought they played well, but as I said, another poor result for them.
Some big injuries, though. Who's out from Carvajal, Trent, Milita, Alaba, Huijsen, Camavinga and Mendy? So, come on. I mean...
all defenders, really, isn't it?
Exactly that. I probably agree with Jamie there. I thought Real Madrid, especially in the second half, were very good. But it's a big win for Man City.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Why is it so dour when Man City win? Why are we not waiting for Man City first?
We just thought it was maybe a bigger story. Real Madrid
we can talk about that a bit later. Man City have just won.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, I'll raise the level. We'll wait. We've got loads to come.
All right, so...
Caller.
Yes, you're a bit all over the shop.
Sorry. That's what you're raising.
We're going to take you out to the Bernabeu and speak to Guillaume Balaguer, because Guillaume, I guess, kind of going into this when we spoke to you, you said one of the big talking points. We've been waiting for you to comment on Guillaume's attire the entire show. I'm surprised it's taken till now. I think you look lovely, Guillaume. Talking about the fact that kind of coming into this game, there was so much spotlight on Xabi Alonso and how critical the result in this game would be in terms of his future at the club. They lose 2-1 at home in a game that Jamie thought they performed well in. So what happens now?
All you can go is by the fans and the noise they made. Minute 67, bit whistling from the whole stadium towards the way that Real Madrid were playing. Minute 71, again. They was asking the players to give them more. Raúl Asensio responded to that, raising the arms and saying, don't whistle us. Eventually he gets replaced. But what the fans were asking is, give us more. This is simply not enough. And what happened the last 20 minutes is that Real Madrid that went for it big time. Yes, they were open, they were exposed, but at the same time, they really believed this was a game they could win. They try to win, put forwards on, etc., which means that there is no single win that is a good win at Real Madrid. But this was an okay performance, which should keep things in its place. But the next thing is Alaves. If they play like they played against Celta, or Girona, or Rayo, or Elche, then you'll hear the same noise that Xabi Alonso is at the end of his tenure here. But if they perform like this, because they can, then it could be a turning point of the season for them.
Guillaume, there's a lot of talk about, Xabi's coming in, and Thierry made a great analogy in terms of saying he's sort of coaching too much and maybe not managing enough. What can he actually do if he's not actually putting his own imprint on the team as such, and he's almost got to let the players be themselves? How does he get those performances from them?
If you mean to change the culture by which the players accept methodology and accept a structure and accept that the manager is in charge, that's not going to happen. So they need somehow to find a common ground, a place where they both understand each other. And the understanding of the board is that that's not there, there is not the harmony. But performance like this suggests that most of the players seem to be with the manager. So if that is the section of the changing room that wins, then you will have a Xabi Alonso that will stay for longer. But no, the culture will not change. The players are in charge and will continue in charge.
Guillaume, can I just ask you a question? Me and Thierry and Mike on the desk had a discussion before about the differences between Barcelona and Real Madrid, whereas Barcelona does feel like a real coaching sort of, clinic for coaches and the players. The fact Xabi Alonso was a Real Madrid player under Ancelotti, and he's gone in, has he made that mistake actually going in thinking he can change that? Because he does know the culture of Real Madrid. That's where I'm a little bit sort of don't quite understand.
I think every single manager that comes to Real Madrid believes that they can do it their way. And Xabi Alonso is a method coach. He's a Pep Guardiola pupil. And actually, he tried to implement this here. But he's been changing himself as well. So all of a sudden, it's not so much about possession, there is more directness, it's 4-4-2 and it's not 4-3-3. So he's trying to adapt to the players. This is a process. What he's asking is time to put all this in place. But meanwhile, he's got to make players comfortable and happy, and everybody has to know their position and their authority within the team. And some are still like that, not completely convinced about Xavi. So in that period is where they are. To actually finish this will make no sense, especially with the performance in the last 20 minutes. But this is Real Madrid. As I say, a bad result at the defeat against Alaves, and then we'll be talking same as we were talking before the game.
Guillaume, thank you very much. We'd like you to go and get some interviews for us if you can.
Yeah.
Any requests, anybody?
They all coming in.
Micah,
Xavi, come on, Xavi. Oh no, Man City. Oh,
well, you assume it would be Man City.
Foden?
How about Haaland?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a nice
Yes.
suggestion. All right, thank you, Guillaume. See you soon. I guess just to follow up on what Guillaume was saying there, he's basically saying that with that performance, Xavi Alonso has bought himself at least another game, right? Is that how you expect things to go at Real Madrid?
Well, I don't know what the board wants to do or not. I find it always ludicrous that a manager can be in trouble after being 6 months in the job. I don't personally agree with that. But you also know that at a club at the level of Real Madrid or Barcelona, whatever, you can wake up and hear some bad news because things might change. I don't think that they should question the coach. I think that you should, if you have a coach in position, you try to see what he can do. But you heard Guillaume, you heard the president, you heard everybody. You heard Gareth Bale saying that when you're there, you need to manage a bit more than coaching. So, I don't personally agree with it, but that's the way it is at Madrid.
You know how much I love Haaland.
Yeah.
Please don't spoil it for me with Haaland as well. Like you do
With
everything
Manchester
else.
City, with Haaland. Why don't we bring him in? Erling Haaland, good to see you.
My man, how you doing?
Oh, I'm getting nervous now when I see Jamie Carragher in the studio now.
You don't need to be nervous, Haaland. Don't be nervous.
Haaland, who do you prefer, Rudiger or Carragher?
I think I need to say Rudiger now because Carragher is a bit loose cannon now, so we need to be careful.
Hey, before you go, you know when he came to Manchester City, he said he didn't think he was going to score that many goals. And look at you now.
Yeah, it's been going quite well, so I'm not complaining.
Haaland, the game tonight, you had that battle with Rudiger, you got the penalty, you've had a battle with him, for a few years now, up against him with the Real Madrid games. Do you enjoy that sort of battle with the centre-back?
Yeah, of course. After I think like 20 seconds, Asensio started to try to push me a little bit. So of course I like this, and Rudiger is I respect him a lot. He's an amazing defender and achieved great things both in Chelsea and also in Madrid. So yeah, of course I like it. It's a tough battle. It's tough to come to Bernabeu. It's really hard. So to win here is amazing, and it really boost us as a player group and also as a club.
Erling, this is Terry. Well done once again. I don't know what to say anymore about you scoring goals. That's too much. Keep going. Just not against Arsenal, but anyway. I want to talk about your celebration. I enjoyed the celebration. I enjoyed the little cockiness about it. What were you doing? Because it looks like you were humming something in your head and moving your head from side to side. What was that?
Yeah, so first thing I was thinking of, because I don't plan any celebration, because you should not, I think, because then I'm probably going to end up with the biggest streak without scoring ever. So I never plan anything, but the first thing is from Achilles, when I just walk like pretending like nothing. I don't know if you've seen Achilles the movie.
Yes.
It comes from there, and then also this is also from a meme on Instagram. I will send Richards after this interview. I will send the meme. I really like it.
What do you call each other, Richards and Haaland? What's that about?
We're friends, you know what I mean? We DM him from time to time. He
Call you Richards.
He can call me what he wants.
Ellen, one thing we wanted to ask you about.
Ask him why we speak on Instagram. Tell them why I.
Go ahead,
You know the award-winning podcast that we've got?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You went on their podcast?
It was with Alan and Gary, but I couldn't make it. I was on holiday.
Well, Erling, I'd like to invite you on my podcast, but Roy Keane's on it as well. Is that okay?
No.
Jamie Carragher now in this moment, and Roy Keane. I think I need to bring my father then on the podcast.
It's a deal! Erling, I want to ask you one more question because Micah brought up what I said a few years ago, but a few weeks ago, I said you were the greatest goal scorer I think we've ever seen in English football. Do you think you can break all the records in English football?
I don't like to think. I need to be boring now. Sorry, guys. I don't like to think too much about records. It's really nice to listen when the records gets broken, like it just did in the Premier. But I have a long contract at City. I'm enjoying myself. I'm playing good football. I have good teammates. So read a bit between the lines, and you will kind of have a little bit of my answer. But stay humble, relax, take game by game, and focus on the next game. Yeah.
Jamie can't read.
Good contract.
Between the lines.
Just very quickly before you go, because I know you do need to go. You're talking about enjoying your football. You're going to enjoy your football over in the summer, I'm assuming, in the World Cup. First time that you've got to play in a World Cup. You're doing so over there in the United States. Are you looking forward to just making sure that America knows who you are? And how many goals should we expect to see from you over there? What's the number?
A loaded question.
Again, I need to be boring. I don't really think of World Cup at all. I just qualified for it for the first time in 28 years. I never experienced being in the World Cup as a human being, so now I'm going to do it for the first time, which is amazing. My father played in the World Cup 1994 in USA, which is also special for me. So to be able to go to the US and play the World Cup there is truly something special, and it's going to be incredible. I'll have goosebumps. Maybe I will cry when I sing the national anthem. Finally, so we will see. It's going to be amazing, and I can't think too much about that now because I have a new game in 4 days. Palace away is really hard, and it's a tough schedule. So I need to go soon now and get some treatment and make sure I don't get injured and prepare for what's next.
Yes, sir. Go do it. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Very good.
I'll text you later. Don't worry.
Oh, we might have a new show favourite. Do we have a new show favourite?
He's amazing.
That was good.
Amazing.
Standing high.
Mikel Arteta has made it clear that Arsenal will need to unleash their complete player against Bayern Munich. The Gunners host the German champions at the Emirates Stadium on Wednesday, and one man in particular could be decisive. Ebereki Eze, described as a very complete player by teammate Mikel Merino, is emerging as one of Arsenal's most dangerous weapons ahead of their Champions League clash with Bayern. The 27-year-old announced himself in North London with a stunning hat-trick in his first derby since arriving in a £67.5 million move from Crystal Palace. His 3 brilliant goals dismantled Tottenham, and truthfully, he could have scored even more. Merino believes every one of Arsenal's 8 summer signings has lifted the squad's level, helping the team build a 6-point lead at the top of the Premier League. But Wednesday's matchup is different. Bayern Munich, the reigning Bundesliga champions, represent the toughest test yet for Arteta's side. Speaking after the win over Spurs, Merino praised Eze's qualities and hinted at the impact he could have in such a high-stakes European battle. "We've brought in a lot of players who can make a difference. But you can see that other teams have spent big as well," the Spain international said. "Individual brilliance can win matches, sure, but in the end, it's the team that matters. If you have great players who don't connect, that's a problem. The good thing about this group is that everyone thinks about the team first." When asked about Eze specifically, Merino didn't hesitate. "I think he's incredibly complete. He can dribble, he can pass, and his technical quality is outstanding. In Spain, we always talk about players who can connect with others. He has that naturally. He grew up with that instinct to link play, move the ball, and build relationships on the pitch. He also has the mindset to get involved, demand the ball, and influence the game. At the same time, he's strong, he can take players on, and he can finish. He's a truly complete signing." Merino also touched on how the modern game often reduces players to simple numbers. "These days everyone judges players by goals and assists, that's just how it is. But as footballers, we see the deeper qualities he brings, the technique, the movement, the intelligence. Even in training, you can tell immediately how special he is. Yes, he's scoring goals, but he's much more than that. He's an exceptional player, and we're incredibly lucky to have him. He can play in several positions and adapt to different systems. He's been a huge addition for Arsenal." Beyond the technical qualities, Merino believes Eze's attitude, and the healthy competition within the squad, will be crucial in Arsenal's title push. You can hear the calm in Ebereki's voice and see it in the way he carries himself. He's confident, grounded, and every morning we sit together in the sauna at the training ground and talk about everything, he added with a smile. "He's a great guy, already fully integrated, and we need players like him." Competition is fierce. There's so much quality in this squad. That's exactly what the manager wanted, as many top players as possible, all ready to play. It makes his decisions tough, choosing who starts and who doesn't, but it also pushes every one of us to give our best in every session. And that's why we're improving as a team. As Arsenal prepare for Bayern's arrival, Arteta is facing one of the most delicate balancing acts of the season. The squad is healthy, competition is fierce, and expectations have never been higher. But behind the scenes, there is a growing sense that Iza's versatility and calm presence may be essential against a Bayern side known for controlling the tempo in big European nights. Arteta himself has hinted at Iza's importance without naming him directly. After the Tottenham victory, the manager spoke about the need for players who can break pressure, dictate rhythm, and stay composed when the game becomes chaotic. Those inside the club believe those comments were aimed at Iza as much as anyone. The coaching staff has been particularly impressed by how quickly he has adapted to Arsenal's positional play structure, a system that demands far more tactical discipline than what he was used to at Crystal Palace. Analysts at the club point to his growing influence not only in the final third, but also in build-up phases, where his ability to glide past pressure could help Arsenal bypass Bayern's aggressive midfield line. There is also an awareness that Bayern's fullbacks tend to push high, leaving spaces between the lines. Iza's skill set, sharp turns, deceptive acceleration, and precise final balls, could be exactly what Arteta needs to exploit those gaps. Outside the club, pundits have already started circling Wednesday's match as a defining moment for the £67.5 million signing. Some believe that if Iza can impose himself on a Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, it will confirm his arrival among Europe's elite creative players. Former players have echoed that sentiment. Several ex-Arsenal figures, speaking on television over the weekend, highlighted the need for someone who can change the temperature of the match with a moment of calm or an unexpected burst of creativity. Iza, they argued, is one of the few in the squad capable of both. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich come into the match with their own confidence. Their midfield trio has been one of the most dominant in Europe this season, and they have shown a repeated ability to suffocate opponents early. That dynamic is precisely why Arteta may lean on Iza's composure. When the game tightens, Arsenal will need a player capable of slowing it down, protecting the ball, and finding solutions in tight spaces. Within Arsenal's dressing room, Mourinho's praise reflects a broader consensus. Senior players have reportedly been struck by Iza's humility and work ethic, qualities that have helped him integrate seamlessly into a squad that already had strong internal chemistry. Staff members describe him as someone who never forces the game, and lets the match come to him, characteristics that could prove invaluable in a high-tension Champions League tie. As kickoff approaches, the narrative surrounding the match has shifted. What began as a test of Arsenal's resilience has quietly become a spotlight on whether Iza can elevate them in Europe the same way he has in the Premier League. For Arteta, the equation is simple. If Arsenal are to overcome Bayern, they will need more than intensity. They will need control. They will need creativity. And increasingly, they will need the completeness Iza brings to every phase of the pitch. Whether he starts in a wide role as a floating midfielder, or even as an interior playmaker, the expectation is the same. Iza will have to find the spaces others cannot, and influence the game in ways that statistics alone will not capture. The stakes are high, the opponent is formidable, and the spotlight is intense. But within the walls of London Coney, the belief is growing that this is exactly the kind of stage Eberechi Iza was signed for. Martin Odegaard is nearing a return to action after suffering a medial collateral ligament injury in Arsenal's 2-0 win over West Ham earlier in October. Yet, 3.5 years after Mikel Arteta named him captain, the Norwegian finds himself in an unfamiliar position. His place in the starting lineup is no longer guaranteed. For the first time since joining the club permanently from Real Madrid in August 2021, there is real debate over whether he remains an automatic choice for Arteta's 11. Odegaard, now 26, has been central to Arsenal's resurgence under Arteta, the conductor who shaped the team's rhythm through some of their most fluid football. But this season, the Gunners have been forced to navigate long stretches without their captain, first due to a shoulder issue that kept him out of 4 matches in September, and then because of a knee collision with West Ham's Crescencio Somerville that sidelined him again. And during his absence, something significant happened. Eberechi Iza stepped into the spotlight. Iza's sensational hat-trick in the North London Derby has complicated the picture. Now thriving in a central role, the England international has given Arsenal a different kind of presence around the edge of the box. A blend of unpredictability, directness, and two-footed confidence that opponents struggle to contain. He may not control games with the same metronomic precision as Odegaard, but he offers a spark, a willingness to take risks at moments when Arsenal need a jolt of creativity. After such a standout performance against Tottenham, it feels almost impossible to imagine Arteta leaving ease out. The manager has always had a soft spot for players riding a wave of confidence, and ease is currently surfing at full height. There was a similar situation back in September, when Mikel Merino was handed a start against Manchester City after scoring 4 times in 2 games for Spain, including a hat-trick against Turkey. Arteta doesn't hesitate to reward form. Ease has carried that form onto the international stage as well, recently scoring a stunning goal for England in a 2-0 win over Serbia in the World Cup qualifiers at Wembley. Though he can play on the left, it has always been clear that Arteta brought him to the Emirates to operate in midfield. And with Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi near untouchable in the double pivot, the odds of Ease and Odegaard consistently starting together seem slim. That leaves Odegaard in an unfamiliar position. He needs minutes to rebuild sharpness, yet Arsenal's medical team won't rush him. The plan is likely to ease him back through short substitute appearances before restoring him to larger roles. But even once fully fit, Odegaard faces genuine competition, because Ease has shifted the landscape. His arrival has raised the team's ceiling, and his performances have earned him the right to keep his place. Before the dismantling of Tottenham, Ease had scored only twice for Arsenal, one against Port Vale in the Carabao Cup and another versus his former club Crystal Palace, a clever finish that sealed victory. Now, with 5 goals across all competitions, he sits just 1 behind Odegaard's total from last season, when the captain made 45 appearances. Odegaard's 2023-24 numbers were outstanding: 11 goals, 12 assists, influence written across every competition. That is the standard he must match again if he wants to reclaim his spot, because Ease is hungry, confident, and eager to impress ahead of next summer's World Cup. Arteta will insist that Arsenal need both players at their best if they are to meet their ambitions in the months ahead. And with Kai Havertz also working his way back to full fitness, potentially slotting into midfield behind marquee striker Victor Gyökeres, the battle for places has never been fiercer at the Emirates. For Odegaard, the message is clear: he must rise to the challenge. His leadership and quality remain unquestioned, but he can no longer rely on reputation alone. If he embraces the competition and fights his way back into the side, his return could push Arsenal to even greater heights. And if the team has already reached this level without several key figures, the potential for what comes next may be even greater. Inside the club, staff members are quietly acknowledging that Arsenal are entering a new phase, one where no player, not even the captain, is immune to tactical evolution. Arteta has spent the past 2 seasons building a squad capable of sustaining pressure across multiple competitions, and the emergence of Ease is a sign that the manager's long-term planning is beginning to bear fruit. Depth is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. But with depth comes difficult decisions. Arteta has always valued balance in midfield, and the contrasting profiles of Odegaard and Ease force him to reconsider what type of midfield best suits the team's ambitions in Europe and the Premier League. The technical control and spatial awareness that Odegaard brings have defined Arsenal's identity under Arteta. Conversely, Ease's dynamism, physical presence, and unpredictable touches give Arsenal a new dimension, especially against teams that sit deep or defend aggressively in central areas. This internal shift has also caught the attention of analysts and former players. Several pundits have begun to question whether the captaincy should guarantee a place in the lineup, especially at a club with ambitions of challenging for the Champions League. Others argue that Odegaard's leadership is too valuable to sideline, pointing to the standards he sets in training and his influence over younger players. Those debates are already spilling into the media, and they will only intensify as the season progresses. There is also the tactical question of whether Arteta might eventually experiment with a system that accommodates both Ease and Odegaard, something he briefly attempted earlier in the season during the win over West Ham. But with Rice and Zubimendi forming an almost impenetrable midfield pairing, any reshuffle risks destabilizing the defensive structure that has made Arsenal one of the most resilient teams in the league. The manager has hinted that he is open to adjustments, but only if they enhance the team's overall cohesion. For Odegaard himself, the challenge is as much psychological as it is physical. He has worked hard to cultivate an image of calm authority, a leader who raises the level of those around him through clarity and consistency. Now he must show that he can adapt, compete, and respond to adversity. His teammates still speak of him with admiration, describing him as one of the most studious and detail-oriented players at London Coney. They believe that once he regains full rhythm, he will naturally reassert his influence. Yet even they acknowledge that the landscape has shifted. One senior player privately remarked that, "The team is different now, ease has changed what we can do in the final third." That sentiment reflects not a lack of faith in Odegaard, but an understanding that Arsenal have evolved while he has been sidelined. For Arteta, the ideal scenario is straightforward: a fully fit Odegaard competing with a fully confident ease, creating a level of internal competition that lifts the entire squad. The manager often speaks about the need for healthy tension among his players, pressure that keeps standards high without fracturing unity. The arrival of Victor Gyökeres, combined with the recovery of Havertz, only amplifies that dynamic. Arsenal's season will almost certainly hinge on these midfield decisions. With Champions League knockout matches approaching and the Premier League title race tightening, Arteta must decide not only who starts, but what kind of identity he wants his team to carry into the defining months of the campaign. The next few weeks will reveal whether Odegaard's return sparks a resurgence or a battle for relevance. If he manages to reclaim his place, it could serve as a reminder of why Arteta trusted him with the armband in the first place. If he struggles, it will underline how rapidly Arsenal are progressing, and how little room there is for sentiment at the highest level. Either way, the captain's response will shape not just his future, but the trajectory of a team that believes it is on the brink of something significant.